Unpredictable? Unpredictable? Being unpredictable is not my weakness, it's my strength. If you can predict your opponent's movements or strategies, it's relatively easy to defeat them. That is, unless your opponent happens to be something like this. If I had to blame one thing for waking me up and seeing the lie that we've been living all of our lives, it would be seeing and hearing strange things in the woods. There is absolutely no way in hell that our governments and governments around the world don't know about these things. It's impossible. They know. They're just not telling us. You know why? Because that would only spawn more questions about the things that we haven't been told. The first time I seen something unexplained in the woods, I blew it off because it doesn't fit the version of reality that we've all been sold. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And then the little voice in my head said what anybody's little voice would say to them. How many weird things have to happen before you're willing to say to yourself, this is weird? And then the next obvious question springs to mind. Why does it keep happening to me? Some people can go their entire lives in the woods and never have a sighting, never have anything unusual happen. And then, as some of you know who have been subscribed to this channel for a long time, without even going out to look for them, weird things start happening around the house and in the woods around the house. I didn't ask for it, I didn't want it, but nevertheless, I can't deny the things that I've seen and heard. But it leads me back to my previous question. Why does it keep happening to me? So all I can do is tell you about my most recent experience, at least wise, sighting-wise. And the most unusual, actually, by the way, because I've researched this, and I have yet to come up with anybody talking about chrome silver eye shine. I'm traveling down the highway on the way home at night in the fall time, and I see these chrome silver eyes behind a giant lilac bush that's out towards the end of a driveway of a farm just down the road. I thought, man, this is unusual. But they're kind of low to the ground, so I didn't really think a whole lot of it. And then these eyes, which were the size of tablespoons, by the way, stand up to a height of probably 12 feet. And I'm getting closer and I'm getting closer, and then it was right on a corner, so I had to make the corner. And I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I said, this is impossible, even though I've had sightings before. But this one was different. That thing knew I was looking at it, and it stood up at just the right time because it wanted me to see it. I don't know why, but that's how it went down. I've spent a lot of time researching cryptids ever since that last experience. And people could say what they want. The amount of exposure that I've had to this subject, I consider myself an expert. And the one thing I can tell you, people who would ignore the problems of the world and focus on entertainment or what have you, you do not, under any circumstances, want to deal with one of these things, want to confront one of these things, no less take one of these things on. And in my opinion, anyone who would voluntarily put themselves in that situation needs their freaking head examined. Because you don't know what they're going to do. We don't know anything about them. They won't tell us anything about them. So why go out there and look for them? To study them? To understand them? What for? According to my research and what I found out, Dogman gets his kicks out of making you shit your pants. It's the ultimate smartass with claws and teeth. They're ridiculously fast, their hide is so thick that it makes them practically bulletproof, and their brain cavity is so big, they're as smart, if not smarter, than human beings. In other words, would-be researchers, you're trying to outfox one of these things in its own living room. There's only a couple things I've ever wanted to know about these things. How do you deal with them? What are their habits? What are their strategies? What are their moves? You know what? They don't need no moves. They can make it up as they go along because they have all the tools to do so. Center mass? Forget about it. All you're going to do is piss it off. If you're going to take one of these things on, you better aim high or go for the joints and hopefully slow it down enough so your dumb ass can survive. And then even that's unlikely because if you know anything about dogs in the wild, they very seldom are traveling alone. And I only mention this and make this video to point this out. When the lights go out and the world falls into chaos, that's their time. And they're going to be running around right in the middle of everything. And you might end up dealing with one of these damn things. And you would be a lot better off paying attention politically and avoid the whole damn thing.